Alright, let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about health. I've been having trouble with health these last few days, trying to get into this habit of trying to record. I promised I was going to record, I didn't. Different things have been happening with my health, and, well, this time it has nothing to do with depression, though. It can happen. Or I've been in pain, or I just haven't got enough rest, or something's going on. And yeah, I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's the first thing, a bit of news that I should tell you about right now. And that's the reason why I'm lacking so far in recording at the moment or having any more out. And you wouldn't know it because you probably think I'm done. Or that, for whatever reason, if it's not already released. I just said probably. And that's a possibility. Because it is. It's a possibility. That doesn't mean I know exactly what the hell you're thinking. Because you know, I refuse to let myself, even if I could know what people are thinking, like in passive, I won't let myself absolutely know because it's an invasion of privacy. Like, no, thank you. And I don't want to get entangled in the whole. It's not just about that, but there can be also complications with love. And let me get specifically with that. With somebody who is involved in a marriage and because they're so empathetic, even if you're like, say, you're miles away, and they can tell somehow or another because they're allowing themselves to pick up on emotions and try to go, maybe it's time to, cheat. No, it's never a good time to cheat. And so, yeah. But anyway, I've just got a big old headache and I just don't feel like recording. And I'm sorry, but I just don't. Uh, so yeah, again, my health is down, but it's not because of subscribers or no views. I gotta say though that I have learned some better things. I can see the benefits of having school. Which is I'm sorry. In the next bit of news, I can see the. I have a little bit of update about the last video that I made about the. I still don't see a why in one sense, but I can understand it because yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. They'll still train you, but you'd think that they would be training you. I guess, yeah, if they're training you for the company that you're going to be working with. But the thing is how do you work for them in such a way that I don't know. It's crazy, but I wouldn't do it for a year before I got taught anything. I would be like, yeah, look, I understand you're looking to trust people and all that, but you need to like more open up, even if it takes about a little while, about like 5 months or something like that, but not an entire year. And that's just my whole personal opinion about that. And of course, there is always the possibility usually is that you get what you get, when you work with a company. And no matter what, you make damn sure you're getting paid for it. And so, speaking of next breaking news, again, and I guarantee you, one of my video will split up like it's got advertisements on it. So, because that's probably what it is. Because he's always got some included promotions and stuff like that with their Mr. Philip DeFranco. Whatever. Um, anyway, so I have nothing against him personally, but dude, enough. Okay. Anyway, so what was I saying? I forgot. So this is what happens when you have a headache. I'll just skip on to something else. I'll remember that, and if I can't remember it, well, I'll just save that for another episode. Or if I get up to 200 videos, I'll just talk about it while I'm trying to play video games. Because, like I said, after I get to 200, there will be no more. Anyway, so another breaking news. There have been things going on with like scammers and stuff like that. And so, in this particular deal, there's someone I would never think would be part of this. Now, this guy they don't even mention his name. I mean, he mentions his name himself, but unlike when he's doing the actual show of, and I'll just get to it. I'm not trying to beat about the bush. I'm trying to tell a story here. Anyway, because it's not like it's true, but it is true. Anyway, so moving on. He's a guy he's just gonna catch predators, you know, that are after kids. Yes, Chris Hansen in a video about getting people who try and scam people out of, or try to sell them a new water heater, because even though that they've did these problems with it about a simple fix that could be fixed, and it's like no, you know. And the thing is that they don't know what he's talking about. This one guy said that when he saw the thing and was like, yeah, if you saw that, you shouldn't have come in there. I mean, seriously, if I just saw that, if you see, the thing is, if you know you're being set up, which is harder to tell, really it is. But if you know you're going to be set up, you would not want to be in there. Like, oh, crap. Here's Chris Hansen. And you know why? Because the biggest thing is, he's there to catch predators. And that was his whole thing. And I don't know if this entire stunt was doing before, or afterwards. So, but either way, I've never seen this man who's highly profiled as a person that is supposed to catch predators. And that's all I've ever known about him, mainly. Not about someone who's doing sketch or trying to find out articles about sketchy people who are scammers. Like, literally, there are people that are like that, but nothing like what he does. I mean, the way he just kind of does it, it's like no one else does it like that. I mean, like, similar, but it's not the same thing. It's kind of like the Duke Nukem lines that I heard, but I'll go with that in another article. But anyway, this guy, Chris Hansen, when you see him, it's like, oh, shit. I mean, if I were to walk up in a situation and I see him, oh, shit, you know, this is bad. I'm like, look, I promise, I'll never scam nobody again, but you ain't gonna sit here and try to tell me I done mess with some underage kids, because all I did badly, now this is if I did, I'm not saying I would, and I'm not gonna say it's a good idea to do this, but all I did was badly scam somebody, try to get somebody to buy into the fact that they needed to buy a brand new water heater when they shouldn't. I mean, seriously, if you see that guy, you're like, oh, hell no. It's time to go. Like, oh, shit. And I ain't kidding. That is the kind of language that anybody would be using when you see this person. Now, I'm not saying that he's a good guy, and I'm not going to say he's a bad guy. But I will say that, yeah, if you see that guy, yeah, you know things are bad. But you may be wait. You might be thinking, wait a minute, but I know I didn't come up in here for some underage teen, so what the hell is this guy here? And what does he have to do with this shit? I mean, literally. What does he have to do with it? But anyway, so going back to that, the reason why he said something about the fan, and then they said, well, they thank him for him, and they don't know what he's talking about. I knew what he was talking about, was because of all the stuff he did to try and catch predators. That's what he was on about. I mean, how can you, for a bunch of smart people, how can you be that stupid and ignorant not to know what the hell he's talking about? Especially he mentions about this setup and the little kid's bike on the ground. How can you not know that for a bunch of smart people? Seriously. Chris Hansen, of all people, should not be there. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, I want to say as fair as well as that, not that I have a problem against him being there for whatever reason, But the thing is, that because based on what he's highly known as in iconic ways, or ways, but a iconic way of being just only a predator catcher, he's never been known for someone who goes, well, okay, all right, let's try and catch somebody who's a scammer. I've never heard of that before about this guy. It's not that like it's surprising people would do this, or it turns out that all of a sudden it's something he can do. It's the fact that based on what you see this guy did, he's best known at, he doesn't belong there. Now, personally, I wouldn't have a problem with him doing that job. It's just because based on that, and I get what the guy is talking about, like, oh shit, oh god, here it comes. But wait a minute. All I did was scam somebody, you know? And this is if you're a person that did that. So, again, why is he here? I mean, I get he's an investigator, but I mean, all he's ever done is try and catch predators. Really. That's all has been his whole mission and profession is to do that. But he's there catching scammers. Okay. But however, though, there is a huge difference. I mean, another huge difference if you've been watching it is that they actually get away instead of being arrested. Because unlike predators, or supposed predators, yeah, they're not being booked and put into jail. So, anyway, the next article we're going to talk about is Duke Nukem. Now, I've heard a lot of these quotes, and none of them you would think he would say. And yes, he did say it. He would never say that. He would never mess with puzzles. He just would say, screw puzzles. Okay, here's something I hate to break it to you, Angry Joe, but you have never played a Duke Nukem game. If you had, you would know that there are puzzles. Now, I mean, maybe not every Duke Nukem game that's ever been. Well, actually, no. Technically, there are puzzles, but nothing like as complex as Forever, or in the case of Time to Kill. Because there have been puzzles you actually literally have to go through hoops and scoops through there that are chores. I mean, you know, and I've never had any problems with it personally. I think I played a little bit of it personally, but yeah, again, I may have dreamed it. I don't know. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Either way, I will say this: that Duke Nukem Forever is a game that I don't mind. And he says something about wall boobs. Look, thing is about Duke Nukem Forever, it's like another game that kind of rehashes from that, technically, and I forget which one it is, where they're in these shells, which I don't remember too much about. I mean, there was a little bit alien shells in Time to Kill, but not with women like that. So, and the thing is, you could easily kill them, but here's the thing that is like, Duke Nukem, oh, I'd still hit that. I mean, I'm not good at the voice, so, but because I'm tired and I'm not really in the mood to really mess with voices right now. But if you catch me in the right moment, yeah, I can do it. Just not right now. But yeah, I mean, like, literally all the funny things that have ever happened, and these are actual true lines, but there was this incident where this woman literally, I'm not kidding, she legitimately laughed, and she thought, laughed it off like it was a joke. And even though it was the weirdest harassment case I've ever seen, and they called it the Bolero incident, and it's, although there was a little bit more than what I seen, but it was still ultimately like, you know, things like that where they were constantly doing this and that, and it was kind of like lines about where she stole lines from Duke Nukem, and it was kind of like a promotion for Duke Nukem Forever. And sad to say, we don't know who the hell this woman is or whatever or what's going on, or what game she's referring to or whatever she's talking about. All we know is that it was using the lines that were actually quoted from the actual game itself of that was pre-recorded by the original voice actor himself. He he was not involved with it himself personally, but someone who ran the lines uh, was harassing this woman. It was hilarious because it was all over the internet and nobody really took it personal. There might have been a few people here and there, but overall, the majority of people just laughed it off, thought it was a joke because it was. It was a joke, even though it was a Bolero incident where she was kind of being harassed. But it was like a joking parody. Just have to see the humor side of things of it, And it wasn't even anything real, because if it was real, they would have done something about it a long time ago and would have said, "No more. You can't have this. You can't have that." And speaking of which, the video I just watched, I have seen before, um, believe it or not, now has muted parts in it. So I don't know, and I have to disagree. He says, I remember him saying something about he would never say that armor is for pussies. Actually, he did. The man himself quoted what he actually wrote. I mean, well, he didn't actually make the lines. See, the thing is, though, is that the guy who's behind it, he doesn't actually make the lines. He says them. And he's pretty hilarious. And I didn't know he was a voice actor for a lot of other voices as well. But the main one that I've known him to be famous for, I would say he's famous. Well, actually, technically, if you want to be fair, he's famous for a lot of them. But you wouldn't know that if you've been with Duke Nukem, and even if you heard other shows, but you never knew that this guy could be linking to that. But see, that's a fun, interesting fact about a lot of voice actors. They link into things. Like, you never know, especially like the voice behind Broly. I don't know about the one for Super. I've heard it was a little bit different, but for the voice actor himself, but they still sound the same. The only difference is that for the actual original movies, where he was only canon there, but not for the actual the actual TV series, was Dragon Ball Super, the movie with Broly. So, and I'm sorry. The only difference is that the original guy, I can't think of his name now. Vic Mignogna. I thought it was only Vic Mignogna or whatever. No, he actually said it in a court case. What is actually how you pronounce his name, which is okay. And I'm gonna say I was not on anybody's side, so it's nothing personal, but I'm not on anybody's side. Because, frankly, at the end of the day, you have two great shows, great voice actors, and I don't want to be like, well, and then be like, so what are you doing watching this if you're not supporting this guy, or if you're watching this and, if you're not supporting them? Because it's kind of hard to be on a side like that, and it's like, okay. And it's not to say that nothing happened, it's just, really? Anyway. Not to try and rehash the past, but there you go. But moving on into this next article about the business, there have been some incidents where people have been down on roads and stuff like that. Where literally yesterday I was in the middle of a traffic jam because I went to go get some money. Oh yes, had a little payday because of trading again. And it wasn't much of anything. It was only what, $10, a big deal that I could have just spent, but I saved it for whatever reason. I'm not going to tell you what the real amount is because that's not really the point. The point is that, and what I put it on is my own business, but and I do put things on charities and stuff, but there's ones that And the only ones I've known and I can trust is the only ones I will put money on. So there you go. But other than that, no. And I'm not gonna tell you the real amount because I didn't. Hey, no offense, but it's not personal or against anybody. But it ain't none of your damn business what it is. Okay. As a matter of fact, it's so none of your business that I shouldn't even told you about it. But yes, I did get some money. Now, moving on. So, speaking of incidents like that, in the next article of news we have here are lots of people who are being attacked still and whatnot. And one of the things that I have noticed lately are angry cops versus cool cops. A lot of videos do not have that. It's like, what the hell are you people talking about? Don't understand it. And so, moving on, another article speaking of that is this guy that would keep harassing these people. And literally, speaking of harassment, he was coming over there, constantly bombarding them about this and that, about destroying the trees over there, and they weren't destroying the trees. And here's a little scientific fact for you. A little fact for you. Just because you take roots out at certain places, not where it's directly underneath connected to the ground. Like say if it's in a drain and it's wrapping around something, it's not going to kill the tree. It's true. It's been proven. So, but moving on, back to that. And the guy kept going, oh, I asked you not to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, this is not your property, so what the hell why are you saying anything? You have nothing to do with it. You're just a damn neighbor that keeps being concerned about trees for some stupid freaking reason. You need to shut the hell up and stay the hell out of the damn way. They're just doing what they're being paid to do, okay? And they're trying to fix a leak. And no, they're not gonna harm the freaking trees. The poor little trees. Okay, I'm not saying the trees shouldn't be protected, but give me a break, man. Constantly talking about it every damn day, and then one day yelling at somebody over it. And then he didn't believe it, and then as soon as another explanation came up, oh yeah, now I believe it. What an idiot. I'm sorry, but dude, shut the hell up, okay? You don't know what you're doing. You have no business being over there bothering these people every damn day. You are not an inspector. That is not even your job. And even inspectors don't constantly go over there. Why are you doing this? What are you doing? What are you using? Are you still doing this? Are you still affecting the trees? Blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Broken ass record person. Okay? You shut up. Alright, let them be. They're just there to do a damn job, plain and simple. They know what they're doing. They've been contracted, to do this job. I mean, it was his first time being a boss, this other guy that was in charge, but it wasn't his first time doing the damn job that he's been doing. He's been paid to do. I mean, there are some things they probably didn't know about, but even so, just because you take a root out, it depends on where it's at as to whether or not it's going to affect the tree. True fact, believe it or not. If you're taking it directly from down below out of the ground, yeah, it's going to affect it and it's going to make it die. No kidding. But if you take it from wrapped around where it's stuck into a pipe, you have to cut it out of there, it's not going to kill it. Sorry to break it to you. And again, shut up. You didn't see them coming up to... See, that's the thing. They didn't go up to his house. Do you think this is bad? I mean, they could have done this. You think this is bad? What about this piece? What about that piece? You think that's going to affect anything because we took it out of the drain and all this crap? I mean, it's all up in the drain. It's all with accordance of what the city is doing as well. And these people are just hired workers. And that's it, to fix a property. had damage. And that's it. Plain and simple. I mean, this guy needed to shut up and stay and keep his damn nose out of business. I mean, okay, I understand the first damn time showing a little concern, but to constantly harass somebody every damn day, the same old questions or a little bit more, shut up, dude. What are you doing over in your home, huh? What are you doing over there? Huh? What are you doing? Why are you going to the bathroom? What'd you eat? Why'd you go home? Why do you spend time with your family? Huh? Huh? How dare you do that shit, you dirty scumbag human being? Just like me, that I'm a dirty scumbag human being for doing what I gotta do. Except the difference is I don't harass you for that shit. Over there harassing them like that. Jeez, man. Why do you open your front door? Why did you go home? Why did you even bother to step out and it's not even his job. He's not even getting paid to do this. He just goes over there. He's just a damn neighbor, concerned over nothing. More like he's concerned over nothing that he's trying to make a big deal out of for just to make some crap up, just to mess with people. What an asshole. Seriously, stop being an asshole. And move on with your damn life. I didn't like that. But I didn't say nothing because I can't anyway. I mean, the fact that I'm saying it on video doesn't mean anything. I mean, other than the fact that, yeah, that's how I feel, that you shouldn't do that. Especially coming from a professional standard. It doesn't matter if you have a job or not. You don't harass people. Okay? I mean, I get that there are things that we should be concerned about, but you just as an ordinary neighbor citizen, it's like when people come over there and say, well, because you're black and you don't belong in this neighborhood, what the hell are you doing here? Yeah, I realize that was racist, but that's what it is like. Just like that kind of whole situation. The only difference, however, one's being racist and the other one's just being constantly harassing someone. I mean, that's still harassment, to be honest with you, to be fair. Yeah, it is still harassment. The difference is one's racist and the other one's just talking about environmental concerns. Yeah, we get it. But you don't have to keep doing it every damn time. I mean, but, I mean, there's no excuse to be racist, but either way, you gotta think about the situation and where you're in. And whether or not you should be over there constantly bothering these people because they're just trying to do their job. You don't see them. Did they come up to your house and knock on your damn door and ask you why the hell you're home instead of being over there so they can constantly harass you about being at your own house at any God-given point of the day? No, they didn't. So why are you over here bothering them? Anyway, but I digress. So more breaking news. I gotta say, I mean, there are just so many mental health conditions that I could go into, but I don't know. The thing about McDonald's is, as processed as it is, it's the only damn place I know of that even serves a McRib, even a McRib, even though it's seasonal, which I think is stupid. I mean, I think it should be like, well, if somebody wants it, they can still make it, like seasonal. I mean, I understand it not being on the menu, yada yada yada, but someone who's on hand who knows how to make the damn shit, because no one can make it as good as McDonald's. Maybe, well, actually, that's not true. That's what people say, anyway. But the thing is, it just depends on how it's being made. It's not really homemade, no more than their damn tea is. They call that homemade. I can tell the difference. difference. I'm not stupid. A lot of people may like their tea, and that's fine, but it's not homemade. Okay? It doesn't matter if you put sugar or Splenda in it, it's how it's being done. That's how you can tell whether it's homemade or not. It doesn't even matter if you put sweetener in it. It's not homemade. Like nobody stands there and does it like it does at home. They just pour it in there or let you do it. Well, at least they used to anyway. I don't know. I don't like their damn tea. Now I'm not gonna rip on them for doing it because their own way. Because they still have people who like it, and that's fine. You know. But I will rip on them for the Coke Zero because a lot of times they're out. Or, like several times they have no Coke Zero. They expect people to drink Diet Coke. Like, on a day, I'll get in that a little bit. And Diet Coke is not good for you. No matter how many times people may say, it's really good for you, it's more healthier. No, it's not. It's been proven that Diet Coke is not healthy for you. It still has just as much sugars in it, and it's still got as much crap in it as the original. The only difference is it's been cut back just a little bit, but it's still not making a difference. You want to make a difference? Drink Coke Zero. Don't be a fool. I pity the fool. No, not really, but But anyway, we're moving on. So speaking of Diet Coke, this next article brings me to the news airline, where this one flight attendant opened up about what they do and what they don't do up there, and it's like, yeah, I still don't want a Diet Coke Zero. Or not a Diet Coke Zero, but a Diet Coke. Don't get a Diet Coke if you care about your own health. I mean, if you still want to drink that, by all means, I won't stop you. That's not why I'm saying this, okay? At no point in time should you ever take me as, I'm stopping you from drinking this. I don't give a shit what you do. Smoke drugs and kick ass for all I care. Unless I smoke drugs. That's not cool. I mean, smoke cigarettes, cigars, whatever the hell you want to do. I won't stop you. I'm not trying to be an enabler. I'm just saying I'm not going to stop you. And I'm just professionally saying, if you really care about what's more healthier and how it should be done, I would say that, well, actually to be fair, it's also healthier whether or not what your own system can take. From a point of experience, from medical and stuff like that, even without being a doctor, I can still tell you that it just depends on what you can take. But ultimately, if you really care enough to get into that whole healthy stuff, go for Coke Zero. Or anything that has 0 sugars in it. That's all I can say. But that's if you really care about all the healthier crap. Otherwise, if you just want to do what's based on what your body can handle, stick to what you got to do, okay? That's all I can say. I mean, it's being a little bit fair, but mostly complicated. But I'm trying to explain it to you that it just depends on the body and whether or not you care enough about for healthier stuff. Okay, it's like taking a salad and saying, well, which one's better, healthier? Why, should you eat meat or should you eat salad? And a lot of people who are going on just a health kick don't want salads. They just want to eat whatever they're going to eat is healthy, according to them. So, the next business that I want to bring across the table is if you ever have any problems, go see a doctor. Because even if you are a doctor, you need to go see a doctor. It makes no sense, but it makes sense because as much as a doctor can diagnose themselves, they can't do anything. It's the law. So, and speaking of the law, this next article I'm going to talk about is going back to laws I do what's needed, necessary. It just depends on where it's at. A lot of institutions and other people say, "Where's your mask? Why don't you wear a mask?" Blah 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 blah. And then I go, like people like friends I've had go, "Well, you're just killing the older people." No, I'm not. Seriously, like the institutions that you go to, they don't wear masks, and then there's a lot of people who don't wear masks, and then there's people who will. So yeah, it just depends. I mean, like if they require you to do so, and they say you have to, wear a mask. If they don't wear a mask. That's all I can say on it. Speaking of health regulations and stuff, it's not because whether or not you wear a mask. It's just not. And it's been proven, and people refuse to believe that because of whatever reason, even though the CDC is not all that in a bag of chips, okay? I'm sorry to tell you this, but, you know, whatever. You need to do your research and facts, before you go and say, well, okay, so, whatever. And so, another article. You know, that, oh God, I think I did catch it. Somebody who's new. God. Blah. Anyway. So, anyhow, I have to say, that if you're in the business, you know, invest your, do yourself a favor, invest in saving up some money. If you're, that is, if you're in a business, not business, but if you're poor, just save up some money, find somebody to get money, and just save a little bit on the side. Just a little bit of suggestion to you. I mean, if you know it, disregard that. But otherwise, if you don't, well, then I'm glad I taught you something because I'll let you know informative wise. So, health news. Back to that. I don't know what's wrong with me. So, anyway, I'm gonna see what. I just. I'm hungry. And I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I gotta go. I still haven't been able to remember that what I was going to talk about. But I will say this when I leave it off here that I got 194 videos in my playlist of my updated things. This will make 95 as of when it gets uploaded. So, yeah. Pretty much stay safe. Always stay safe. Regardless of whether you wear a mask or not. And here's another thing that the CDC had said. Another article, if you really want to follow the lines of that, then follow this. It depends on if you've got it or if you have it or not. So, yeah. That's another thing you ought to consider before saying, well, you still have to wear a mask. Not really.